All right, let's go over the application cover sheet real quick. There's been a lot of changes to it, and this is the latest model. First thing you want to do when you get an application, whether it be online or in the office, is attach it to this form, as you see right here. Put the receive date and time. That's very important for fair housing guidelines, as applications have to be run and approved or denied first come, first serve. You cannot compare applications to the other one and try to choose the best one. So you would put the date and time you receive this and move forward. The application, the applicant name, the main name, and then the address that they're applying for, the fee they paid, and how they paid it. And if they don't pay this, you can pretty much stop right here. Don't waste your time until they pay the application. It actually happens. People will fill out an application and not pay the fee, and oh, I'll bring that in later. Initial who you are, and if you verified their photo ID or not. It's a great time to do it right then when they apply if they're in the office. If not, they come in online and you don't do this. But at some point, this needs to be done before they move in, and it's on the move-in checklist as well. So if you don't verify it at this point, that's fine. Just circle no, because they will check that again when they do the lease. All right, then we're going to move down and we're going to run the background and credit and propertyware, and then use this form to score it. If they have pets, they'll also need to do the pet application. First thing we're going to look at is their length and field of employment. So that means if they were at Burger King for 2 weeks and before that they were a BMX rider, then they're going to get 0 points here. If they were at Burger King for 2 weeks, before that they were at McDonald's for 4 years, they're going to get 3 points as they've moved in the same career path. Consistency is what you're looking at there, but in the same career. They can hop jobs, but they need to stay in the same career field. Then their rent to income ratio. This is going to require some math, and these bottom numbers are the percentages: 40%, 33 to 39%. And what you're going to do, the equation is right here. It's rent divided by total household income, and that includes child support, food stamps, whatever, all sources of income you can pile into this. And we'll do one real quick just to show you how easy that is. So it's rent. We're going to go with an $895 rent. There's our number, divided by their income, and let's say they make $2,687 a month household income, equals 0.33, and we'll stop that right there. That's 33%. Okay, cool. Let's go back to our cover sheet and see that that would be 1 point for their rent to income ratio. Then we're going to look at their credit score and just correlate the points with wherever their score is at on here. Their payment history. If they have 3+ delinquent accounts, they get none. If 2 or less, 2 or 1, they get 1 point. If they have a bank account with new credit, they do need to have a bank account. If they have no credit and no bank account, that's different. If they have a bank account and new credit, it's a 2. If they have 0 past due accounts, they get a 3. Or if only thing they have bad is a short sale foreclosure, we're still going to give them a 3. That doesn't apply that much to rent. If everything else on their credit is fine, we'll give them a 3 right here. Number of non-sufficient funds. This is bounce checks, things like that. Obviously, if there's 3, there's 0. 3 or more, 2 plus 1, so on. Length of residency, how long they were at their last place. 24 plus months earns them full points, and it's broken down from there. 3 points on that. Non-medical collections. If you notice, this is very closely related to payment history, because one of the best things we can look at is their payment history, as far as how well they're going to do on paying their rent. So you can see if they have more than 3 or more non-medical collections, they get a 0. If they have 2, they get a 1, 1, 2, 0, 3. Now we're going to take their points and total them up right here. So if we had a 2 plus 3 equals 5 plus 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yay, they're approved. They got 1, 3, and all 2s. They got 15, so we'll go down here. We're going to put 15 right here. There's a point system. So this is removing all the biases and everything else and liabilities that we can get in for fair housing. We have a proven point system, and the reason you need to initial this and fill all this out properly is so we can document that we did not discriminate in this process. We went directly off the app and used these things which we can discriminate on. Then you're going to go, okay, 14 points or more with no pets is approved with income verified and their deposit paid. 14 plus with pets would be approved with income verified, pet application, and additional deposit for the pets. 11 to 13 points is approved income with double deposit or cosigner. 10 or less is declined. May consider a cosigner. That kind of depends. That is the only judgment call in here. Is you may or may not throw that out. Like your application was declined, but we may consider a cosigner. If they get a cosigner, you're going to run their cosigner through this exact same scoring system. These are the automatic denials. Felony within the last 10 years, collections or judgment from landlords or utilities require proof of resolution before approved. Sometimes you'll get ones that have a collection from a utility and they're like, oh, that was, well, we need proof that it's been resolved. However, they prove that with like a letter from the utility company or you call and confirm it or whatever, they need to prove that. Otherwise, it's automatic denial if they've been a collection from a landlord or a utility company. I don't know how they'd get the utility set up in their name. And utility default is a good sign that they're not going to be good tenants. Utilities and rent run together pretty well. All right, so now we're here. You go into Propertyware and Marketing and change the status from either qualified or unqualified based on this scoring system. If denied, go to the prospect, select Mail Merge, and send them the rental application denial letter from PWare. Place a copy of the letter with this sheet and put the app in the denied app file where we keep all the denied applications. If in this process here, at some point they're going to call and say, what is wrong? What happened? Where's my app? Where's my app? They're usually bugging you anyways. You don't want to go into the details of why. Nothing good can come from that. You're better off to say, we're required to provide the reason why in writing. Now, you should, as soon as they're denied, let them know they've been denied and that they will get a letter in the mail explaining why. And that is by law. We have to do it that way. They want to talk about it, say, you're just going to have to wait for the letter. I'm sorry, but I'm required to do it in writing by the law. So then, if approved, it goes to the property manager, and you gather all this information to put together the lease packet. So this makes putting together the lease packet easy. It's in the same order and goes right along with it. If there's a cosigner or an increased deposit required, you need to send the adverse action letter from Propertyware. That's required because of their application, you require them to do more. There's an adverse action letter that we have to send them by law. Okay, so then we're going to make sure we have the names of all tenants, adults, and children. This is a great time to call them up and tell them, you've been approved. I need to go over some things with you. What are the names of all the adults and children that will be living there? Great. I'm filling out a lease packet that I'll send to you, whatever. The rent amount, as agreed, is X, and you just fill this out as you go. The deposit is X if they have pets and they have a pet application. The pet deposit is X amount. Now, you agreed we'd be living here. This is a great time to hit them up for 2 years or not ending in the winter if you're in the Idaho Falls area, things like that. Target, get all this figured out right now. The move-in date. Now, when are you guys planning on moving in? You have to commit them to this. We have to know this. So what date would you like to move in? And they might be like, well, we don't know if we're going to be coming on Saturday or Friday. Well, let's put it Friday. Commit them to something. Prorated rent on move-in, calculate that out, divided by the rent, divided by the days in the month, and then count the number of days they'll be living there. There's your prorated amount. And put this in there and let them know that. Okay, the prorated amount will be this much. And then the utilities will be paid and established by tenant and utilities by owner. This is where you just remind them, you are responsible on this property. You're responsible for all the utilities or, whatever. And then the number and type of pets, get that info from them because that has to go on the lease. And then if the property is located in Salt Lake City, add the Salt Lake addendum with the lease packet. So now you tell them, notify them that you'll be emailing them a lease packet. Okay, we'll be sending you a lease packet by email. And I need to know within 3 business days when you can pay the deposit and return the complete lease packet. And you're going to put that right here, what date and time they say that they're going to do it, and you're going to put it in the office calendar. That way, if you're not here or you're not around, we know we are expecting a lease packet or they're coming in to do it or whatever. Then you can prepare the lease packet. You get off the phone with them. They're excited. You're excited. It's awesome. You fill all this out. You go into the lease packet. You plug all this information into the lease packet, and then you email or give the tenant the lease packet. Once the deposit is paid, you unpublish it and remove the available date in Propertyware. Notice what is not on this form anywhere is call the owner and tell them their place is rented. No, that's on a different form and done when the lease is signed in a different time. You do not do that when we get an approved app. Now, if you're giving the owner updates, you can say we've received applications or we've received an application that we're processing. You really don't want owners too involved in this process, but the most important thing is that You don't make an owner think their place is rented before we've got a deposit. You'll send them this packet, and sometimes they drop out and you don't get it, and now you have unhappy people. Okay. Now we've unpublished it and taken it off. So it still gets showed and everything else until we have a deposit. And when they do the lease, they do the deposit and vice versa. Now you're going to place this in a file, and begin the move-in checklist, which is a totally different form. I hope this helps you run applications. Once you have all this done, then you can celebrate. Boo. Yeah.